Now, you know who's caught up in some serious drama right now? Trisha. And believe me, this situation is way messier than anyone could have predicted. So, if you've been following along, you probably already know that Trisha and Ken were seen as this power couple, always serving that picture-perfect relationship energy. But lately, things have been looking real different. Fans quickly picked up on the fact that Ken had completely wiped his Instagram of any pictures of Trisha, and that's when the breakup rumors really took off. At first, people assumed they might just be going through a rough patch, but then Trisha came forward with some shocking claims that flipped the whole situation on its head. Because y'all, this wasn't just a simple breakup. Trisha just dropped a bombshell that no one saw coming. Now, let me just say, everything in this video is alleged and purely my opinion, but the tea is scorching hot, and I have to spill it. Trisha has finally spoken out, and y'all, what she revealed was intense. She didn't just confirm that she and Ken were done, she exposed what was really happening behind the scenes. According to Trisha, their relationship wasn't just rocky, it was downright toxic. She's alleging that Ken was mentally and emotionally abusive, constantly gaslighting her, twisting situations, and making her feel like she was the one at fault, when in reality, he was the one playing mind games. And before anyone jumps to conclusions, Trisha made it clear that this wasn't about physical abuse, but rather how Ken manipulated the entire narrative in their relationship. And y'all, if you've ever been in a toxic relationship, you already know how damaging that can be. She opened up about how Ken would spin conversations in a way that made her second-guess herself, dismiss her feelings, and then flip the script to act like he was the victim. She even hinted that this wasn't just a recent issue. It had been going on for a long time, but she ignored the red flags because she loved him and was holding on to hope that things would get better. But what really got people talking was when Trisha revealed that Ken would behave one way in private, but completely switch up the moment the cameras were on. She claimed he was all about keeping up that good guy persona in public, making sure their relationship appeared flawless to outsiders. But behind closed doors, it was a whole different situation. And if y'all think about it, this could explain some of the weird energy people had noticed in their past interactions. Now, you already know the internet doesn't hold back when drama like this unfolds. The moment Trisha spoke out, social media absolutely exploded. People instantly started picking sides. Some were backing Trisha, saying they always had a feeling something wasn't quite right about Ken, while others came to his defense, arguing that Trisha was just salty about the breakup. And listen, y'all, when fans start digging up receipts, you know things are about to get messy. Some people went through old videos and found clips where Ken appeared dismissive toward Trisha, brushing off her emotions, or making little passive-aggressive remarks that might not have seemed like a big deal back then. But now, with everything coming to light, they hit completely different. Others pointed out how Ken had a habit of subtly undermining Trisha, cracking jokes at her expense, or acting like she was just overreacting whenever she expressed her feelings. One person even commented, "I always had a bad feeling about Ken." Another wrote, "The way he spoke to Trisha in some of their videos always felt off, but people overlooked it because they seemed cute together." A third person chimed in, saying, "If he was really innocent, he'd be out here defending himself." At the same time, there were those who believed Trisha might be exaggerating, arguing that no one really knows what went down behind the scenes. Some fans even pointed out how happy they seemed in past videos, and questioned why Trisha was speaking up now. But here's the thing, just because a relationship looks perfect from the outside, doesn't mean it actually is. And if Trisha finally feels ready to tell her side of the story, who are we to say she's not telling the truth? And let's not overlook how Ken has been acting ever since all of this came to light. Instead of addressing anything directly, he's been carrying on online like nothing even happened, posting as usual, and completely ignoring the situation. But silence? It can be just as loud as words. And the fact that he's choosing to stay quiet? Yeah, people are definitely side-eyeing that. Now, here's where things get really interesting. You'd think Ken would come out swinging, right? Maybe try to clear his name, shut down the accusations, or at the very least, say something to defend himself. But nope, his response, or rather, his lack of one, speaks volumes. Instead of confronting the situation head-on, Ken has stayed completely silent. No statements, no explanations, just acting like none of this is even happening. And let's be real, sometimes silence says more than words ever could. When someone gets accused of something this serious, most people either immediately shut it down or at least try to tell their side of the story. But Ken? He's just been moving real shady. And let's talk about his social media activity, because that's where things get messy. First off, he completely erased Trisha from his Instagram, like wiped their entire relationship off the internet. That alone got people talking. Then, fans started noticing that he had been liking a few cryptic tweets about letting go of toxic people and protecting your peace. And y'all, tell me why he went and posted some vague message on his story about how people always love to play the victim. Oh, and let's not forget the disappearing comments. People were straight up asking him, "What do you have to say about Trisha's accusations?" And guess what? Those comments mysteriously vanished. Now, I don't know about y'all, but to me, that's giving guilty conscience. But hey, that's just my take. Now let's zoom out for a second, because this whole situation with Ken, yeah, it might actually be part of a bigger pattern. See, here's the thing. This isn't the first time Ken's name has been caught up in drama like this. If you've been keeping up with him for a while, then you know he's had more than a few questionable moments. So, let's talk about the cheating rumors. Remember when people started speculating that Ken wasn't as loyal as he made himself out to be? There were whispers that he was entertaining other women while still publicly acting like he was all about Trisha. And yeah, nothing was ever confirmed. But let's be real. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire. And then there's the way he's always handled conflict in their relationship. Fans have pointed out that in past situations, Ken would constantly try to flip the script and make it seem like Trisha was the one blowing things out of proportion. It's the little things, shutting down conversations, making passive-aggressive comments, or straight up invalidating her feelings. And looking back, those might have been red flags that people just chose to ignore. And let's be real, some of y'all in the comments have been saying this for a minute. People have been side-eyeing his energy for a while now, pointing out that something about him just feels off. And now, Trisha is basically confirming what a lot of folks already suspected. At the end of the day, this whole situation is messy, and it's got people completely split. Some believe Trisha is finally speaking her truth, while others think she's just trying to make Ken look bad. But one thing is certain, this is far from over. Now let's talk about what's next for Trisha, because based on what she's been posting, it looks like she's officially done with Ken and ready to move forward. And honestly, she might just be better off without him. Now, if you've been keeping up with her latest social media activity, you'll notice she's been dropping some pretty obvious hints that she's all about her future now. For starters, she's been posting a lot more about self-growth, healing, and cutting off toxic relationships. She even liked a tweet that said, "Sometimes walking away is the biggest win." And y'all know that was no accident. And let's talk about her content, because she's clearly making moves to establish herself outside of Ken. She's been posting more solo videos, interacting with her followers, and even teasing some new projects. There are even rumors swirling that she might be working on something big, maybe a podcast, or even a tell-all video where she really lays everything out. And if that happens, Ken better be real nervous. Now, here's where things could get even messier. Some folks are speculating that Trisha might actually take legal action. And honestly, with the way she's been opening up about how much this relationship affected her mentally and emotionally, it wouldn't be all that surprising. If she decides to speak out even more, this could turn into something way bigger than just a social media drama. But here's the real question. Is Trisha completely done with Ken? Or could this be one of those on-again, off-again situations? Because let's be honest, breakups like this can get real messy. Sometimes people end up going back and forth, but judging by her energy right now, she seems completely ready to leave him in the past. Now, I want to hear from y'all. Do you believe Trisha, or do you think there's more to the story? Do you think Ken will eventually break his silence, or is he just gonna try to ride this out without saying a word? And what do you think Trisha should do next? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I already know this one is gonna have a lot of opinions. Alright, y'all, that's all I got for now. But trust me, this tea is still brewing, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next one.